Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's me, Jackie, and I'm back with another Excel workshop on the LUTG budget. Last week, we made a budget ready for a pre-proposals meeting, with all the basics in there, but still with a bit of adjusting to do. This video is going to talk you through adjusting the budget to make it realistic and manageable. Then, we will talk through the pre-proposals meeting, giving general points, talking through what the different exec members are looking for in the meeting, and how to get the most out of it. The first thing that I want to look at in this budget is the break-even capacity. Personally, I prefer to look at the actual tickets that need to be sold to break even rather than the percentage. Last term, we had 128 active members in the society, and this is a good number to go off when looking at your break-even ticket sales, obviously subtracting the ones that would be on your own show. If you need to sell 200 member tickets to break even, no matter what the capacity percentage is, there is obviously a big problem with that budget, as it is totally unrealistic. Looking at recent data from shows, the average total tickets sold is around 90, so keep this in mind, but don't worry too much about it. We'll probably need to change your budget after the pre-proposals meeting. So, going back to the budget we did last week, I'm going to show you what was pointed out in our pre-proposals meeting for stop. First of all, and this is one that happens quite a lot, we'd forgotten to include the VAT amount in the rights, so that's changed to £187.20. Subsequently, we were told that for 7 costumes, even though it was mainly sourcing, we would need at least £10 per costume, so this changed up to £70. Obviously this budget was originally done in the Michaelmas term of 2018, so at the moment you are looking at more like £100 for basic lights and sound, but contact the SEOs for better estimates for what you want to do.
You also now need a TENS licence, temporary event notice, for many venues around campus. Talk to the exec about whether your venue needs one of these. I've taken the price of the TENS licence on recent shows, £21, and put this in the venue hire section of the budget.
As another point, if you're looking at doing something snazzy with publicity, you might want more than £20, but 20 is a good start for basic producer budget. Again, I want to drive home that it's always better to overestimate your budget, but make sure you aren't going wild with unnecessary spending, because if you cannot tell the genset when that money's going, it will be questioned why you need it. For stage managers, if you are concerned about any of the pricing of anything you want to build / buy, etc., contact the current safety and equipment officers and they'll be able to help you as much as they can. Quickly note as well how much easier it was that the MISC automatically changed, rather than us having to do it every single time. So now you've made a more accurate budget, take a look at that break even.
Here, it is now 96 tickets to sell, which is a fantastic budget to come to proposals with.
However, we may as well look at changing those ticket prices around to see what happens. When changing the ticket pricing on the budget sheet, you should always make sure you are changing the number in the right-hand column rather than the left one. So, the one in column C, not column B. This is because, if we look at the formula in this column, it is adjusting for any money that the rights company or venue hire is taking. Usually, the rights company will only take part of the ticket sales if you're putting on a musical, but make sure to double check your rights agreement. So, let's say the venue takes 10% of ticket sales, as the Nuffield does. See how the income from ticket sales has changed, and we now need to sell more tickets to break even. We are going to look at this again properly when we go through a musical and a Nuffield budget, but for now, let's set the percentages back to 0.
For Stop the Play, our ticket prices ended up being £6, £7 and £8 to make sure we were coming on target with our budget. However, if we were under budget, we definitely could have reduced this. This is why it's important to keep on top of your budget, not only to look if you're going over, but also under. Remember that the cheaper the ticket price, the more students you will attract to come and see the show.
To wrap this all up, I asked the exec what things they look for in a budget. Your SEOs say they're looking at the cost of set, props, costume and tech in accordance with what the team wants to do. Don't forget VAT on your rights. I know I already went through this, but it seems to happen quite a lot. Your MISC is emergency use only. Do your rights require you to buy scripts? If so, this needs to be accounted for in your rights budget. Is the venue capacity realistic given the planned setup of seating, tech, etc.? Does your show need a TENS licence? If transport is needed, has it been accounted for somewhere in the budget? And there we have it! This week, we've talked through getting ready for proposals and how you change up your budget if needed, including the ticket prices. Next week, we'll be moving on to past proposals to see how you manage your budget, which means we're moving on to the finance sheet. We will also be talking about how to use the sheet properly to make your post-show a breeze and your GenSec a very happy chappy. See you all next week.